with me I have
Trish Giacconi, the CEO of the Family Life Center, and we welcome you to watching us this afternoon on our Facebook Live. We're getting better and better with this.
we just wanted to take some time out just to kind of give you an update with our daily operation with COVID-19, as well as, just talk about, what's going on in our community. So as you know, or if you've been following our social media, have gotten on our email list, we are still open. We still are operating. It is 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, but our advocates are always around and always able to get in contact, or you can get in contact with them with our helpline, crisis helpline number, right?
Absolutely, and that's 386-437-3505. And what we've done is we're providing services in office as well as through technology. So if you have a safe place and want some crisis counseling and want to be able to see somebody but maybe can't get to us, please give us a call and we can arrange that for you so that you can set us up through your phone app or Zoom, or we're learning all of this together, but we certainly have some things in place for you to know that we are here with you and for you.
For sure. We've been actually, as a team, we've been getting used to the Zoom. I think everybody's like using Zoom or some type of platform so that they can video conference call, and we're getting our advocates up to date on everything so that we can be able to counsel anyone from the comforts of their own home. So.
Absolutely, so long as it's a safe place. And I tell people that I'm almost zoomed out, but I know that it's important that we have different avenues. And so it's a great opportunity to reach out and know that we're here for you. So please let us know. We will walk you through it if it's something that you've never done before, so that we make sure that we're providing you the services that you need anytime and anywhere.
And so going forward, now this is phase one of the reopening. Do you see a timetable when phase two, or we're just waiting?
I don't know about a phase two, and as far as the way that we're operating, what we're doing is our shelter is open 24 hours, 7 days a week, so there's always someone there. As far as our outreach, what we've done is half of our team works 3 days a week, the other half works 2 days a week in office, and then they alternate who's working from home. So there's always advocates available. We are keeping it a minimum to how many people are in the building. We want to make sure that we're following the guidelines. We will likely continue to follow these procedures at least through May, possibly into June. We are not currently taking any donations of clothing and things like that. We are taking new paper goods and canned goods. But beyond that, we're not taking anything else, just because, again, we want to make sure that there's a mechanism in place for safety and health. But we are available for any victims or survivors that need support. We are here for you.
Definitely. So I've actually been out into the community this last weekend. It was kind of like the first time where the restaurants started opening up. Social distance. So I wanted to get out there as a community relations advocate, just kind of talk to people, just try to get them active. As you know, we are still recruiting volunteers. We have an event that we're planning, to kind of make up for our events that were canceled, the Walk a Mile, which was supposed to be in March, as well as the One Love tennis tournament that was going to be coming up this summer. So those are huge money makers for us. And one thing is, we have to account for it somehow and make up for it. So we have a virtual event that we'll be announcing soon. We're excited for it. And it was just very different. It was very good to see a lot of the people in our community again. One thing that always gets me though is when I kind of tell people, what I do and who I work for. They always get the tilted head a little bit, like, okay, well you're a man and you're representing so many female victims in our community. And if you guys don't know me, I was raised by my mother, my grandmother, my aunties, and I have 2 little sisters. So just trying to get that male perspective. This is a cause that is mentally, emotionally, and physically unhealthy for anybody to be in. So I want to make sure that we raise awareness for anyone.
And Gary, you bring up a really good point. I think so often we focus on the females when we talk about domestic violence and sexual assault. And what we need to remember is that males are a huge part of this. We want healthy men to show what it means to be in a healthy relationship, so that we're raising very strong young men and very strong young women into folks that can have really healthy partnerships. And we can't do that if we're not having the conversations, and it cannot be one-sided. Yes, there are male victims of domestic violence, and so it's wonderful to have males who work at the Family Life Center. But it's also wonderful for the little people, the little males that are in our shelter and in our program to see healthy men, and how we can have disagreements that don't necessarily form into an abusive relationship. And so really engaging in the conversation, saying, how does that happen? How do we get men to be engaged? Because frankly, we're not trying to demonize men. And I tell people all the time, I remember when I first started working in the field, so many people really kind of felt like, oh, you're man bashing, and, you must be this, or you must be that, and there was some name calling. And the reality is that I am not like that, and most advocates that are in this movement are not like that. What we want is we want healthy relationships. We want equity in our relationships. And so we want to make sure that we're partnering with our men in our community, saying they too recognize that this is not okay, and then they can say, what can we do to help out? Yeah. And so one way is getting engaged with your local domestic violence or rape crisis program. First and foremost, learning about it, and not being afraid to have the conversation. I really commend Gary, because Gary has, as he's mentioned, being raised by his mom and his aunties and grandma, there were strong women in his life that helped him to recognize the importance of healthy relationships. But not everybody has that, and so we want to make sure that we're getting that information out there to our...
Yeah, I don't really remember a time when someone sat me down and was like, okay, well, this is how you treat a woman. It was just kind of, I grasped it because I would never want anything to happen to the women that were in my life, and same with growing up in little sisters, especially the one right below me, we went to the same school. So, if anybody disrespected her, then we have a problem, right. But honestly, like Trish said, just talking to different people in the community, and just kind of like the buzzwords, whether it's domestic violence or, I just talked to someone about a toxic relationship, and that was his word, and I was like, wow, that's good that, he understands that, that relationship, no matter how much he loved her or, felt about her and cared for her, he still understood that it was toxic, it wasn't doing him any good, it wasn't doing her any good, right. And for a man to kind of realize that and be able to tell somebody that, because, men don't usually, like to open up and share their feelings.
So men don't talk about emotions? What? Are you kidding me?
I mean, it's just, it's my opinion, but yeah, it's out there.
And I understand, and I think that in our society, we
right.
have this perception that it's not okay for men to talk about feelings, when that's erroneous. The reality is that men need to talk about their emotions because they have them, because they're human. And what better way to do that than in the context of a healthy relationship?
Yeah, for sure.
And so being able to say, I'm not okay with this, and these are things that make me uncomfortable, and what does that look like for us moving forward? And also to be able to say, this isn't working, and so I need to remove myself from it, because I want to engage in a healthy relationship, and this is not it.
Yeah,
and then seeking the help that person may need so that they can be whole. Because the truth is that we can't be a better we if we're not a better me. So, and I'm actually stealing that from my husband. He says it all the time. But the reality is that really having the conversation, and the message needs to come not just from moms, but it needs to come from dads and uncles and teachers and the male neighbors and the role models, our church family, our pastors. Men need to stand up and say, it's not okay. It's not okay to mistreat and to abuse the women that we love. It's important that we know what healthy looks like. And so, Gary, what does healthy relationship look like to you?
You put me on the spot.
I did.
I think communication, understanding that everything's not going to always go your way, but having some type of, give and give, or give and get relationship, honesty, I think that's something that a lot of people take for granted.
Absolutely.
And I think, just being there for one another, that's one of the things that I grew up seeing from relationships in my household. No matter what was going on, it's like, okay, well, we're going to be there for each other and we're going to get through this,
And I think that's an important piece, is the communication piece and the honesty piece. And the respect piece.
Right.
And I think that the words that you describe really lead to that, is respecting one another's individuality. And the truth is we don't always have to agree. Being partners doesn't mean that I have to do everything my partner does or he has to do everything I do. What it means is that I'm okay to be me and he's okay to be him. And we're okay being with each other, being ourselves. And I'm not forcing that person to change for me, and they're not forcing me to change for them. Because the truth is nobody can change me, and I can't change that other person, right?
Yes.
Only I can change me, you change you, and that's kind of the way that
Definitely.
works.
And I look at, some of the young relationships out there, and, people change. People, that's just a fact of the matter, that people change over the years. So to give somebody that space to change and be themselves and grow, I think it's an amazing thing,
I agree. And so what Family Life Center, one of the things we do is we do provide education to our community of all ages. I remember doing finger puppets with kindergarten kids about healthy relationships, because it starts that young. And so what we're asking, particularly at this time when many of us are home, is to have conversations with your young people. I invited my youngest daughter and my son to come and do a Facebook Live here in the next couple of weeks, because they both are dating. They're 14 and 16, so they're both dating, and I invited their significant others to join. We'll see if I can get them on.
That'd be good.
To try and just to have some dialogue about relationships with teenagers. But the truth is that we have these conversations in our home. We talk about what's healthy and what's not healthy, and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, and what does that look like in the context of their relationships. And so I'm encouraging all of you out there to have the dialogue with your kids. And it doesn't matter how young they are. They may not be dating age. But then talk about how they're relating to their peers. And what do they think of when they think of relationships and partners? And what do they think about your relationship with your significant others? What have they seen? What are they concerned about? I think these are good questions to just kind of dialogue about and really get a bird's eye view into your kids' thinking.
I think, especially me growing up in like the reality TV era and, these dramas, these teen dramas, I think a lot of kids, they actually go to the TV to get their information about what a relationship is supposed to look like. And, that they don't realize that that's dramatized. Right. That is, something that, is made for entertainment. Right. So you can't treat your real life like
television?
Like a television.
We can't be the Kardashians?
No, we cannot. I think that's one of the things that, I always said is, as, influence and social media rose, we would have to come together as a community to kind of, combat just that whole mindset, I would say. Because, you look at it and, I have little cousins that are in young relationships, and it's like everything has to be, dramatized and, publicized on social media. Right. But I think, we just hired our youth advocate, and she was kind of on a roll. She was getting into those schools, starting to talk to a lot more kids, and then COVID-19 hit, and so that kind of pulled her back a little bit. But, I think, community awareness on the younger age level is going to be something that is going to benefit our community and society as a whole. Flagler County is a great county, and we just want to make sure that our younger generation is going to be have the tools to have what it takes to make positive change in this area. So.
And I will say that in the work that we do, we see victims of all ages. And so we see our young teens, but we also see an uptick in domestic violence, even in dating violence with our elder population. When you're married for many, many years and your partner passes away, or God forbid something tragic happens, suddenly elder folks are lonely and single, and so they're re-engaging in an activity that they haven't done in so many years. And so there is, unfortunately, there is violence in the older population, not just with families, but re-engaging in that dating world. And so we want to walk that walk with folks, because it's not an easy walk, and have those conversations about what does the dating world look like now versus what it looked like 20, 30, 40 years ago, because it's different. And so we want to be able to say these are some healthy things to do. And what I would caution folks is being very careful with using social media and dating websites and the amount of information they place on there. And so, yeah, it's sometimes just thinking about what you put on there and what people can see and hear and can use and manipulate. I know that we're running close to when we're going to get done, but I just want to say this, is that particularly for our young people, when your significant other is texting you, really very often, every 10, 15 minutes to find out where you are, what you're doing, and who you're with, that is not a healthy sign. And that's not something where it's a sign that they love you. That's
Right.
really the beginnings of or it's really a sign that they're trying to control you and find out what you're doing. It's not, he loves me and so that's why he wants to know where I am. He's concerned about my safety. That's a fallacy. And so we want to make sure that you know that you have the right not to answer those text messages or those phone calls. You don't have to report to your significant other. And if your partner is doing that and is requiring you to tell them where you are at all times, you may want to start looking at what other red flags are there, because that's a big one. You can always visit our website at familylifecenterflagler.org. We do have some information there about red flags. And please, you can always give us a call and we'll certainly go through some more. And as we go through these, we'll highlight some for both the younger and the older folks that are out there in the dating world.
Yeah, definitely. Just stay in touch. You can go on our website and sign up for our newsletter. We're going to try to do that monthly, just to kind of reach out to our volunteers and to our community. But yeah, like Trish said, if you ever need any help, all our services are free and confidential, and they really, really do wonders for the community. And I definitely appreciate working here and being able to help. I think that's the biggest thing, is trying to bring the community together for such a great cause like domestic violence and sexual assault here in Flagler County.
And we're so excited to have a diverse workforce, including Gary, and we have Mike as well. And so, and we have advocates of all ages, as well as all ethnicities. So we want to make sure that people know that we're here. And it doesn't matter if you're dating a man or a woman, or if the abuser's a man or a woman, please reach out. You're welcome to give us a call on our hotline, 386-437-3505. If you have any questions that you want us to answer on the Facebook Live, or you want to email us, feel free to do that as well. You can reach Gary at familylifecenterflagler.org, or you can post a question on our Facebook page and we will try and circle back to it when we have an opportunity. The idea behind us doing this is to really engage with our community and let you know that we are here for you, and we want to be helpful. And so please, folks, stay safe. We appreciate you, and hopefully you find these informative.
Right.
And hopefully we're getting better.
Thank you, Trish.
Thanks so much, Gary.
Thanks,
and thank